From Software over the years has built up a collection of iconic weapon designs, whether they be from memes or just how ridiculous they are. Maybe even the weapon is just so cool that it makes you feel like you are playing a JRPG and that god looks a little too alive. I want to focus on one of those iconic weapons that has been around since the Kingsfield days, the Moonlight Greatsword. Today, I want to beat Dark Souls with only the Moonlight Greatsword. To get the Moonlight Greatsword, you only have to cut Sieve's tail. Cutting Sieve's tail requires me to get past the 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽, so I need the Lord Vessel. Okay, added ONS to the list then, but they are in Anor Londo. I will need to take out Iron Golem to get there from Sen's Fortress. Then to get into Sen's Fortress, I need to ring both Bells of Awakening. Add gargoyles and Quelaag, I guess, as well as the tutorial boss Asylum demon while I'm at it. That is a lot of requirements for a silly little sword, but is that really a Moonlight only run? Nah, this game is broken in a fun way. I'm going to try getting that sword without killing a single enemy. Before that, I need to shout out another creator who made an amazing video where they saw how early they could get the Moonlight Greatsword. Devbox's video, How Early Can I Get the Moonlight Greatsword in Dark Souls, is really good. You should check them out, seriously, their channel will be linked in the description as well as their video. Along with them in the description will be links to glitches and skips I used in the run to get the sword. Unlike my other videos, I won't be going into too much detail on them, but knowing me, this video will be an hour long somehow. Now, let's get into the arbitrary rules for this challenge run. First, and most obvious, is I can only kill an enemy with the Moonlight Greatsword. Second is glitches are allowed until the sword is received and I am no longer in a sequence broken location. Rule 2, Section A of Article 5 is no soul duping because getting enough souls to wield the weapon is a part of the run now. The Moonlight Greatsword has some heavy stat requirements when you aren't killing bosses. 16 strength and 10 dex are not too bad, especially when you only need 11 strength to wield it two-handed. While 28 intelligence to wield it is a lot without the generous soul donations from bosses. So, I'll somehow have to find a way to get those souls. Third rule, this is an all bosses run, so we'll get to see some of the bosses I have the least experience with. Fourth rule, directed directly at you the viewer, is have fun. Challenge runs are self-imposed restrictions to enjoy a game in a new way. I don't do these as a show of my skill because I'm better than everyone. I do it to have fun, even if it is a video game designed to make me feel existential dread. I can't wait to begin. Audrey also seems ready to take on the challenge, I hope. She is a hunter because I need the bow to help me escape the asylum here in a bit. Master Key, yeah, it is useful when trying to avoid bosses and enemies. Now, with the important picks out of the way, it's time for Audrey to do the true Moonlight Greatsword run. She escapes the cell because she found a key to open the door. This prison break thing is easy. Leaving, she climbs the ladder into the courtyard where the door to the first obstacle of the run awaits. The tutorial boss, Asylum demon, comes down shaking the building. Asylum has the key to leave this place, so I'm going to need to leave without killing them somehow. I know a couple ways of doing this, but two of them I can't do. The common one uses fire bombs to kill the demon and then reload the game before they are fully considered defeated. This results in the boss still being alive, but the key now being obtainable from Oscar. Could I do this one by fighting it with a broken straight sword hilt? Yeah, I could, but no, not going to happen. Second way is to pick Priest for the mace and then performing a drop attack on the demon in a certain way. You fling yourself off with a heavy attack before going into the punch attack, and if you're lucky, you get launched to the roof of the asylum. From here, you can drop down and leave, but I'm going with a way I enjoy more. It is skill based if you, could kill enemies. RNG! Yay! I spoke to Oscar and got my flask as well as the key to the upper asylum. Before that door is a hollow who kicks a boulder down. They can follow me, so I decide to use fall damage to make them no longer a problem. This sounds easier than it really is. I struggled a lot with this, and for some reason pulled the two hollows further ahead by the fog gate. Don't know why I did this, but being overwhelmed by the trio, I had an idea. The hollows follow me back to the start where I get on a ladder and they start falling down below. After the three of them are down there, I can run to the fog gate where the most annoying hollow of all resides. This hollow does not move, but only shoots their arrows at me. Why this is an issue is because I'm doing the pick up and enter Asylum demon skip. If you want to learn more about the skip, I covered it in my Beating Dark Souls with Only a Bow in an Hour video. To sum it up short, I need to drop an item by this fog gate and then accurately line myself up. A bow is used to help me line up because the angle the character faces has to be accurate. Then a tricky input is used to pick up the item and enter the fog gate, causing a weird turn. Issue though is that getting staggered moves me. That is what happens here, and I don't move back but get the glitch. Instead of being able to leave the asylum, I fall back down because I was not far enough in the corner after getting staggered. That is not the only annoying thing that happens with the stagger. Even if I get the inputs and start to turn, I can still get staggered out of that animation, meaning it fails as well. If all that was not fun enough, if I fail the inputs, I will enter the fog gate. This means I would need to quit out to leave the fight, which also resets the enemies. Those two hollows I baited down towards the start are now back at their default positions. So to fix that, I have to just dark slide back to the last bonfire before baiting them away again. Getting to work, I kept trying to escape, but kept getting cancelled by the hollow. At one point I put on the armor hoping that would help, but it did nothing. I still would get staggered, causing it to be a failure. This went on for around 20 minutes until I finally got it. I was doing some weird backstepping, trying to dodge their attacks, but something interesting happened. While I was getting set up, the hollow tried to shoot, but missed me. Seeing this, I did not hesitate and hit the inputs walking into the wall. I start getting pushed up before at the top jumping backwards down below. Landing, I'm at the other side of the asylum and can make my way to the hub area, Firelink Shrine. 𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 Lord has a lot of souls for me to pillage, and I sure hope it is enough. I go around collecting souls and other useful items. I grabbed some homeward bones from the chest, and then for some reason I went into the catacombs. The skeletons were upset, but I dropped down and made my way further in. Running around, I looked out for souls I could grab before getting assaulted by the skeletons. If I did not fall off the ladder there, I might have just died. I get away before getting pushed down further to more enemies. Yay, this is going great. Getting past them, I turn into the skeleton wheel area where I'm quickly flattened. Back in Firelink, I collect the last souls and make my way into 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 runes. More souls await in those runes. Okay, this is going to get repetitive. Just assume I'm picking up every soul in 𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 and I'll cover the other stuff. I pick up some transient curse and even grab the Firekeeper soul. Somehow I avoided the ghost and just continued on further in. I get past the room with the one that blocks the door, and honestly it's crazy how well this is going. Towards the building with the red dude, sorry, I forgot his name. Well, at that building I did something interesting. Instead of going inside, I went around the side and past it. I grabbed the soul over here, and the ghosts really like to aggro through walls. They are all coming after me, and I make my way to the building I passed. With them mostly out of the way, I was able to easily climb up the ladder to get to the red dude. Speaking with him, I'm reminded he only gives the key to the seal if you have the Lord Vessel. Killing him also gives it, but with the rule set, I can't. Something had to go wrong here, and I guess not being able to get the key isn't the worst. On the bright side, I was able to avoid the ghost and pick up more items. Yay! After grabbing the last item, the ghost caught up to me and I should have just dodged. Honestly, a skill issue. Waking up in Firelink, I turn in the Firekeeper stole to Anastasia to level up my Estus Flask before heading back down to 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 runes. Instead of going into the ghost city, I use the master key to enter the Valley of the Drakes, where I can grab more souls. While I'm here, I also grabbed RTSR for later before leaving to the Darkroot Garden. I grab the bonfire in this cave and rest at it before leaving to get the Grasscrest shield. After grabbing it, I decided to try to cheese the Black Knight for 1,800 souls. I just kept failing to do it properly. Speedrunner, by the way. Eventually, I get them to fall to their demise and make my way to the Undead Parish. In the church, I'll pick up the Firekeeper soul and activate the elevator before making an interesting choice. I decided to go up the stairs to do the most annoying room in the game when I can't kill enemies? Somehow I got away with it, grabbing a soul. Oh no, wait, I died to the Baldur Knights. At least I did not have any souls. Shit. Let's totally go get those souls. In the Darkroot Garden, I start going around collecting little trinkets. Then I, for some reason, thought the trees that are alive would move out of the way. Small issue in that every enemy in the area is after me, so I die losing those 1,800 souls I worked hard for. Time to go do something else. You know, it might honestly be starting to show that I don't know what I'm doing. I tried to kill 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 fall damage, and then I decided that would take forever and left up to the berg. At the top, I see the back of the hollow that kicks the barrel down, but they won't move. I can't go fight 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 demon because I don't have the Moonlight Greatsword yet. Who the hell let me do a challenge run? Now I'm making my way through the parish the more normal way? But first I get turned into a minnow sandwich because I picked up an item. There was some good that came from it, as on my way back there I grabbed the Lloyd's talismans. I will use these later for a mimic, but that is not for a while. Oh god, I need to do Iron Golem skip. Let's not worry about that right now, because in the parish I do a cool jump for the humanities, not to brag. From collecting these items, I'm making up for the souls I lost, which then I quickly spend on the residence key. With that key, I can now grab the bonfire before doing some dumb shit as I always do. Jumping over the railing, I quit out storing my position. Once I load back in, I will heavy attack with the sword hilt in my left hand, flinging me onto a wall below. Rolling off, I'm in the lower undead berg early. Just like in my last video, I'm going to do Griggs Skip, freeing him so he will appear in Firelink. I also spend the time to grab the items from the mysterious body that is wearing the same outfit as Griggs. Whatever. I have a catalyst now. Yay! But I also don't really want to be in the lower berg with the annoying, well, everything. So I make my way up to the shortcut to have it open for later before getting obliterated by 2 dogs. With the shortcut open, I can make my way back into the lower berg easily in a bit, but it is time to continue for the upper berg. I did not feel like dealing with the annoying hollow that kicks open the door, so instead I dropped down. There is really only one important item that I make sure to grab here, and that is the gold pine resin. It will be used later in the run, but it is big brain, trust. Then, after that, I get hit by a barrel and remember, oh yeah, the whole area code is after me. To everybody's surprise, I die. Then I die again later, but this one was funny. The sequence of events from when I pick up that soul to me getting launched into the ravine was great. With this area mostly dealt with, I decided to at least open the shortcut from the lower undead berg to Firelink. The dogs are still a problem until then, so I'm going to get rid of them like puppy girls to a computer science degree. I think I first saw Mr. Metagross do this, and it's honestly really smart. I just don't think this is how you are usually supposed to get into the spot, but it worked. Then for some reason, I thought it was smart to grab the twin humanities and somehow grabbed it. However, like when I run, I always forget I have to get back. Dying, I decide to make my way back to Firelink to buy some useful goodies instead of dealing with the lower berg again. I pop all my souls and make my way to Griggs, but he won't sell me anything. You need to hit an intelligence requirement, so I raise my attunement to 10 for an extra spell slot. Then the last of it goes into intelligence while saving some souls to purchase what is needed. With this 18N, I can speak to this nerd who now sells me fall control, but I had leftover souls. So now I have 19N. Yay! Then I forgot to attune my new spell. No! After attuning it, I'm going to make my way to the undead parish, wait, no I'm not. What am I doing? I don't know what went through her head during this part, honestly. But it seems I did decide to head up the parish. Maybe I should route my challenge runs out more. Nah, the absolute absurdity of my choices is amazing. I must live with it for the bit. My next genius move is to head up to the Black Knight. Sometimes this one just falls off and dies. That is kind of what I wanted to happen. Also, how often do you see this animation? It is amazing, but I'm fine. Except for all the enemies that were waiting for me at the bottom, and then this happens. My soul sank as I just landed down next to me out of nowhere. Running away, I tried to get up the tower, but Miss Hollow was ready to slay me. Also forgot to rest the undead parish bonfire, and I have ADHD. Why am I heading towards the catacombs? Oh, to grab the Zweihander. Although I could have sworn I picked it up when I arrived in Firelink. I even wrote it in the script. Whatever, I'll just remove that, I guess. After getting the big sword, I return to the parish. Once again, I have to go around, but this time I do a cool jump and then use the alluring skulls to take out the boar. This is in the rule set because I did not do damage to the boar. The fire did. If you think this is breaking the rules, then the dogs don't count either, and I don't want to live in that world. The world I live in has me trying to kill the knight again with fall damage. This time they don't drop down next to me, but when I head back up, that hollow is there. I was ready for this, however, and dropped into my most hated room, the rat room. Noticing where I went, I tried to avoid the worst of it, but it is happening. Almost dying, I quit out, but when I lit back in, the hollow stabs me, which is not good for my health. Okay, so I make my way back there after dying to this bullshit. I suck at dodging, it seems, and the rat agrees. In true Dark Souls fashion, I get hit with the instant poison proc. Honestly, did not want to deal with this, so I just quit out to de-aggro the rat before healing up. Now from this corner, I can use the bow to bait the shield hollow. This allows me to do a sick jump getting across. Now, I can go kick the ladder down before grabbing the bonfire. Heading up the ladder, the Drake is baited to drop down so I can open up the gate by the sunlight altar. This is going to make my life easier as I can't really deal with Taurus Demon right now. And for some reason, I still want to try and defeat the Black Knight. Somehow this happened. I do not want to talk about it. At this point, you should be used to it, but I changed my plans again. Using the fire breath from the Drake on the bridge, I grind for 20k souls. I wanted these souls for the lingering Dragon Crest ring, but I need to get back to Firelink. Of course I die. I swear I'm good at this game, you have to believe me. Now down 20k for a ring that will totally be useful, I head back to the Drake Bridge to farm. I have no idea what I would have done without the Drake to farm souls easily. In only like 10 minutes I got 13k souls, putting the Elden Ring farm locations to shame. With these souls, I make my way to the Undead Parish for some shopping. I purchased 9 Titanite shards and the Bastard Sword. With that done, I put 1 level into strength before realizing I need a lot of souls if I'm going to be able to wield the Moonlight Greatsword. Back in the Dragon Bridge for the 3rd time, last time I swear. I farmed the souls for around an hour and used those 52,000 souls to level up. Vitality was leveled to 15, Strength to 16, Intelligence to 26, giving me enough to wield the Moonlight Greatsword, right? Now, my next moves were questionable. I went back to Andre to level the Zweihander, but I don't think I ever used it. After that, I went up into the Hollow Room to try to get that 1k soul. I was able to get it first try, only issue was getting out. I still wanted those 500 souls I dropped, so I went back dying again, losing those souls. It kinda sucks, but even with them I would not be able to buy what I wanted to buy. Popping the soul gives me 1k, but the weapon repair box is priced at twice that. I seriously thought it was 1k as well, but whatever, there are more souls to pick up. Like this one in the Darkroot Garden I grabbed before homeward boning back to the parish. Now with the money I need to buy the repair box, I will purchase it. This is a smart purchase, as the Moonlight Greatsword has a ranged melee attack. However, this attack drastically degrades the durability of the weapon, and a broken weapon is useless. Also, still need to get the Greatsword for that to even matter, so now it's time for all those glitches. First one is Sen's Gate Skip to get into Sen's Fortress early. By parrying an enemy in the right spot on the staircase, I can be put into this death cam state. This causes surrounding areas to stop loading in, and the gate to Sen's Fortress is now unloaded. Navigating the world is hard in this state, but once I'm past the gate, I will quit out. This reloads the game, removing me from death cam, but when I load back in, I will stand up on the other side of the gate. With the 2-bell skip now, I just need to skip Iron Golem. Oh no, not again. At least Sen's Fortress is easy, as I speed past everything. With the boulder, I'm going to get past with the glitchless strat that I did not forget I needed more stamina for. No, I would never do that, I just wanted to show off Sen's Gate Skip again. I mean, you've probably likely never seen it before, it's pretty niche, like Nirvana. Now that I'm back in Sen's Fortress, I need to collect some things besides my bloodstain. The Ring of Steel Protection is always good, because the Greatsword is, well, heavy. Keeping fast roll while still having decent physical protection will be useful. Then, I'll grab the Hidden Sense Bonfire because I'm going to be dying a lot to the Iron Golem skip. Also, don't worry about me being stuck here after resting at the bonfire. I can still get out easily with fall control. One last thing before the torture I'm going to put myself through. I grab the cage key and then make sure to send the cage down so I can use it later. Now for the big glitch to bring me to 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽. To put it simply, I don't know a lot about it. You hit the Iron Golem with a running attack of certain greatswords canceling the grab. This is where the Zweihander comes into play because it is one of those swords. Oh yeah, grabs can get cancelled, but this is most likely not intended because, well, you get launched sometimes. That launch is what I want to use here to get to 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲 because past this collapsed tunnel is 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸. It so happens that there's a part where 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 can be loaded in if you get very lucky. You've probably been seeing a whole bunch of failed attempts where I'm falling into the endless void. At least with these attempts, I got launched because the timing for it is hard. I am timing a running attack with the grab of the Iron Golem, so I hit it as I am hit. Very hard to do, and super annoying when you don't end up in the right place most of the time when you do get it. This glitch is miserable, but a little under 5 hours of attempts, I finally landed in the right place. This glitch is cool, but I don't want to do it again. Oh yeah, you may have noticed I'm still out of bounds. Well, this is where a RON warp comes into play. By force closing the game as the world is just loaded in during a warp, it will trick the game into thinking something went wrong. It will put me in the default failsafe location, which is the very start of 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 in this case. Timing the Quitout is pretty hard, but that's why I use the Alt+Space method. If you want to know more about that, I will have a video showing how to perform it in the description. We don't have time for that because I have to do Iron Golem skip again because I messed up the RON warp. Back to Iron Golem skip, but I can't complain this time because I got it in only 20 minutes. This time, I take my time with the RON warp and do it correctly. When I load back in, I'm at the start of 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸. In the City of the Gods, I'll grab the 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 bonfire. If you are familiar with certain things, it should be a big no-no, but not really. I tested things. I don't ever do that, but good thing I did. I found a way to escape Sin's fortress even with the Iron Golem gate blocking me, but we will see that later. There's an item I want to make sure to grab here first, so I make my way to the Mimic. Remember those Lloyd's talismans? Well, they can be used to make the Mimics EP. When they get EP, they start breathing with their mouth, allowing me to grab the crystal halberd. I may have died, but I grabbed the bonfire, so life is good. Especially with that halberd that is just a normal halberd, but upgraded to be crystal. With this weapon, I feel like I'm ready to take on the golden fog gate blocking me from Duke's archives. If you want to know more about this, you should watch my 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 video, and this is not a request by the way. So anyways, I warp back after activating the elevator. Now I'm going to attempt the skip after I set up my air roll equip load. Damn, she is bad at math, but I got it next time. What the hell? I do not have enough stamina? I hope that is the only stat I'm short on, right? Right? At least I have souls to use on some levels. I was prepared. With my 14 endurance, I hope I get at the threshold for that last roll. After I remember to set up air rolls correctly. I may be a little tiny bit stupid, but I also still don't have enough stamina after popping all my souls. I don't know if I want to cry, scream, or just uninstall the game at this point. It has to get better, and my skills are still there, I hope. Using the fault control Quitout, I get to the bottom and make my way to the Raptors room. I've gone through this room a million times. It is too easy as I have conquered Namu Rafters. Leaving the oversized art gallery, I turn the oversized elevator to set up the Silver Knight Archer skip. This is also a skip I explained in my 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 missions were not enough to stop me quitting out near the giant blacksmith. When I load back in, I'm past the shortcut door and can make my way further inside. I came here for one vein and one vein only. The soul of a hero for more levels! Once I get it, I warp back to the 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 bonfire, and it's not what it looks like. I was broken, but I kept strong and did not soul dupe. It was a little close as it only gave me enough to level up once, but I said screw it and tried again. This time, thankfully, I got the last roll landing at the bottom. Oh hey, the gargoyle I can't kill. I sure hope that is not an issue or a sign of things to come. With the air roll confirmed, I can now attempt the skip this time. After air rolling down, being put into death cam, I maneuver onto the elevator. Then the gargoyle hits me, but it's not too bad as I just heal up. Continuing to the Duke's archives, I arrive at the big issue. This sentinel blocks the way, and this glitch is very precise. You only have a certain amount of time to make it past the golden fog wall before just spontaneously dying. Even if I get past the dude and I just bumped into them too much will result in the glitch failing. So does getting hit by the gargoyle and falling to your death, I guess. What happened? I thought you have done this glitch before, girl. Well, yeah, I have, but with 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽. I fail to consider that this glitch does not typically have to deal with those two enemies. When you dispel the illusion of Guinevere, plunging 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲 into darkness, certain enemies disappear. Those are two of them, but I won't be able to make 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲 dark with this rule set as I would have to kill ONS. So I kept trying this method for a bit, but let's cut ahead to where I learned the other method. If you have ever seen the 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰 speedrun, you have most likely seen this method. I only learned how to do this for this run, so I'm not the best to explain this glitch. Maarionette, on the other hand, has a good video demonstrating how they perform this glitch. They are a 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲 speedrunner, and their video is what I used to learn this glitch. To sum it up, basically I'm rolling up onto this rock and using the bow to roll on a seam out of bounds. There are these different visual cues that lead me up to the entrance of the Duke's archives. Small issue is that it has a roof that I'll land on instead of falling down into the other side. I will need to find a way in, so I go all the way down this roof until I get towards the bonfire room. Then I perform a jump into the corner and hope the game lets me in. And guess what? Once again, this is easier and prepare to die because of course it is. But wait, there's more, because sometimes the game just randomly kills you. So then I have to do the seam walk again, which I have not even gotten into. I never got perfect at it. There's a lot of little movements, and it seems some knowledge you need for this glitch. It is a seam, which looks like this. Pretty easy to fall off of, huh? Well, at least I'm able to rest at the bonfire in 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲 because I did testing. I know, the applause can stop because I have not even made it into the Duke's archives yet. I only hit the skip after an hour of learning and attempting it. All things considered, after Iron Golem skip, that was quick. The fall was a little weird, but I'm in Steve's lair where instead of hoarding gold, he hoards books? What a fucking nerd. Wait, I'm not one to talk, I literally speedrun this game. At least my knowledge leads me to performing do skip allowing me not to go to prison. While Steve uses his knowledge to kidnap women, yeah, nah, I'm using RTSR for this. After opening the shortcut, I would go and grab the bonfire.
But, Mino, would you not be stuck in the archives?
We test stuff now, is what I do. Turns out it makes my life easier, like this bonfire will if I die. There is a way to get out, but I will go over that later. Without having to worry about the golden fog gate skip, I can just focus on the RTSR setup. First bit of damage I take is just from jumping off a platform before making my way into the crystal caves. In the caves, I use a slip twice to take some more damage before slipping past the golem. Then I misjudge this fall, overshooting the damage I take by a little bit. And my defense, still an RTSR setup, it's below 20%. I count it. So glad I'm able to grab the archives bonfire. Okay, second time around, I drop down and don't die this time. I also don't end up in RTSR range, but I can use some crystals to correct my energy, putting me in range. Well, not really, as I'm going to take more damage from the fall onto an invisible platform coming up. Are you serious? Thankfully, when I drop down to wrap back around, I end up in RTSR range. Now I can make my way past the clams, oh no. But before that, I did make sure to quit out to manipulate Steve's AI. The Quitout causes him to turn around, making the tail cut easier when I break the crystal. I only get one try with the turnaround, and it's going to be okay. I trained for this. I did not practice this ever in my life. Past the clams, I enter Steve's boss room and skip the cutscene. You've seen it before. What you might not be used to seeing is me shooting the crystal with a bow before swapping to the halberd. In 3 hits, I claim my reward of the Moonlight Greatsword and I leave. Alright. Now I need to get back to the Paris, which honestly is not too bad considering what I've been through. First things first, I need to get out of the archives. I could fumble around trying to find the entrance, but I'm lazy. Instead, I used the force quit I did earlier in the Iron Golem skip to run warp to the first bonfire of the archives. Now, I just have to slip past the 2 boars who are a little hungry. I am, however, faster and quit out near the fog gate. This is just to de-aggro the boars so I can perform the force quit. Then I get the force quit first try because I would never fail something so easy. The warp sends me to the default failsafe location, which is the start of Anor Londo. I could get brought to Sen's Fortress right here, but I don't trust myself. I'm going to save at the bonfire first. I have been through too much in this run.
Hello, Dark Moon Knightus, my beloved. See you soon. Got to go.
Luckily, the circle here will bring me back to Sen's Fortress, even if Iron Golem is not dead. Only issue is that because I skipped Clumsy Giant, the fog gate is still here. I have a trick up my sleeve from doing actual testing. Casting Fall Control, I drop down below to an out-of-bounds area. This fall will kill me, but by using a Fall Control Quitout, I can avoid the cold embrace of death. From here, I can drop down to where the giant that opens the gate is located. Oh, so this is where it happens, where my testing was not thorough enough. I forgot to consider how to get up on the battlements to drop down. Now, here I am, making my way back up to try again. Could I have just run warped again to leave? Yes. Yes, I could have. But did I? No. No, I didn't. Instead, I chose to do it again. I don't remember if it was because I did not know, or I just wanted to show it off. It is pretty cool, so I'm glad I get to show it off. Because this time when I drop down, I make sure to land on the battlements with a sick jump. From the battlements, I cast Fall Control and drop down below to in front of the gate. A Fall Control Quitout is used to prevent me from dying, making this the very last glitch of the run. Oh yeah, this is a challenger video, isn't it? I guess I need to start fighting bosses. I sure hope I have the stats to wield this weapon I spent 10 hours getting, right? Right? I thought I had enough strength to two-hand the Greatsword, but I messed up. My intelligence is 26, and the Greatsword needs 28 to wield it. I just need a couple of levels, but how will I get these levels? Maybe I'll use the Drake Bridge again, or go find some more souls. Or maybe for some reason I go and try and kill the Asylum demon? There was likely a thought process here, I hope, but I sure don't know what it would be. And the door is closed because of the way I left the Asylum, meaning I need to do another run warp. This is what I get for doing the cool Asylum demon skip instead of using the Firebomb Quitout method. This time, this is the last glitch used. And I feel like because I did a cool thing, it does not count, like my 3 deaths to the Black Knight, as that would never happen. I could slip past the night in my sleep. Don't know how the bloodstain got there, but look at this parry.
Jingly keys, jingly keys, jingly keys. Look, it's the first boss of the run.
Crazy enough, the plunge still does a decent amount of damage considering I can't wield the weapon. Also, insane how I can use the special attack even though I can't wield it. Could be a cool run if I was more of a masochist, but I prefer to punish Asylum Demon's attacks instead. Asylum Demon easily goes down, but I forgot to grab the peculiar doll. Like I said before, I could dodge this knight in my sleep. Me getting hit here was because the pickup animation prevented me from rolling, I swear. Now, with everything I could want from here, I effortlessly avoid the torch hollows on my way to Firelink. What do you think I will do now? A. Gain more souls to level up by using the Drake Bridge. B. Cheat. C. Fight Taurus Demon without leveling up. D. All of the above. The answer was D. All of the above. I took care of the 2 archers above Taurus's arena, leaving just the big guy. The fight was not too bad, as I just used the plunge to deal massive damage. After each plunge, I would lure it away a bit until I could slip by and up the ladder. The last plunge left a tiny bit of health, so I finished the demon off with 2 attacks. Defeating that boss only brought me up to 5k souls, and I need way more. The Drake is here, so I might as well use it again. It does not take too long to get up to 15k souls before I set up the bonfire. This gives me just enough for the 2 levels I need, allowing me to wield it. Finally. When did I cheat though? Well, now that you ask, I have used a glitch in a Dark Souls game. I have not only cheated the game, but myself. Well, might as well cheat more by performing the jump down into the lower Undead Berg. Could I have used the shortcut I went out of my way to get? Yeah. Why did I not do that, you ask? I wish I could tell you. I have no idea. At least I'm not entirely stupid and went to get the other shortcut before fighting Capra. Also, I bought 1 blooming moss from the merchant because I will get hit with toxin at some point. It is not a question of if, it is a question of when. But right now I'm gonna go get hit by Capra and its dogs. To help counteract this, I put on my heaviest armor and heal up before entering the fight. This helps me survive and kill the 2 dogs. Now, it is easy to unequip it all and fight Capra one-on-one. Easy fight when you are prepared, but now it's the depths time. At least I don't really need to pick anything up and can speed through this area. Although I do take out the average sized New York rat for fun before making my way to the bonfire.
Then I easily died to the Torch Hollow's dumb flailing attack. I hate it here. At least the second time I can kill them before grabbing the bonfire finally. FromSoft knew what they were doing by being annoying. Annoying like the channeler they put above the Gaping Dragon's arena I almost forgot about. Also, they could not stop themselves from putting all the giant rats there as well. I can take care of them one at a time, or the channeler can leave themselves open to a plunge? That last rat was scared. I almost feel bad for them. But I won't feel bad for the Gaping Dragon. Only thing more hideous than it is this damage because this weapon upgrades with dragon scales. Unfortunately, this big gaper does not drop one, but the next area leads to a lot of scales. First I need to beat this dragon. That won't be too hard even with... oh no. It is fine, I can use this as an RTSR setup. They are almost dead, and I sure hope that sludge does not kill me. I forgot the sludge does damage. I thought it only affects the durability of a weapon. Okay. I know. Skill issue. But next time I will know and easily defeat that grotesque creature without getting hit. Alright, who's ready for Blighttown? We love Blighttown! Instead of heading into Blighttown from the depths, I instead choose to go the other way. Going the normal way has too many of those below dart enemies that inflict toxin, and I don't want to deal with it. I just had to head backwards through the depths back to Firelink, which is fun. But when I get back to Firelink, I can make a stop to finally upgrade my Estus Flask with a Firekeeper Soul. Only picked that up like almost 10 hours ago. It is a good thing I got that done because I went to grab the other Firekeeper Soul in Blighttown. For those who don't know, an NPC named 𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 will kill the Firekeeper in Firelink after certain actions. There are 2 triggers, and one of them is to collect 2 Firekeeper Souls. Well, more specifically the soul from the Undead Parish and the soul from Blighttown that I will grab in a bit. I don't have to worry about the Firelink Keeper dying because I unlock a new one here in a second. First I have to get the soul, and there is 4 blow dart snipers and a handful of fire dogs as well. I need to take care of the blow darts, but I get hit, so now I have to deal with their toxin as well. Just need to hope they drop a blooming moss because I only bought one. But because it is funny, they all drop the purple kind. At least they don't respawn. Dropping down, I can take care of the dogs and grab my reward of a Firekeeper Soul. With that taken care of, I want to continue down to the swamp so I can grab the bonfire. Conveniently, the bonfire is close to a chest of the first dragon scale. With that lovely close bonfire, I can use the weaponsmith box to upgrade my weapon once. Now I just need 9 more for the rest of the upgrades and to go into the Great Hollow to get them. Shit. I mean, I love the Great Hollow! Thankfully the scales are not in the Great Hollow, but in the Ash Lake. I only need to focus on getting to the bottom, but because I'm dumb, I still tried to grab items. It resulted in some close calls, but I'm able to make it to another trial. There is a Hydra here that drops scales, but it will be tough to beat. I'm going to try, so I decided to grab the bonfire down here. Which means I'll have to scale the Great Hollow to get out, but better than a terrible run back, I guess. Now to try my hand at this Hydra, and why is the Hydra making no noise? I did not notice this because I listen to music while doing runs, but this is weird. Also, the damage is really bad and it hits past my shield. Eventually I get a head cut, but I was out of Estus. I could have used humanities, but I'm saving them for later. Also died with 32k souls that I'm saving for upgrading the weapon. Still need more skills for that, but first I grab my souls back. Then I go around this place grabbing the free dragon skills that are lying around. The Hydra did try to stop me from achieving them, but they did not try hard enough. Making my way back to the bonfire, I can upgrade the Greatsword 2 times. Upgrading also repairs the weapon, so I can use some of those magic attacks. Now with this plus free repaired weapon, I should be able to take on the Hydra. Still not an easy fight, but at least the head cuts are going way faster. Less heads means less chances of getting hit. That won't stop me from using up all my Estus though, but I still have humanity. I was confident enough to use them with this damage, but now I want to make sure to not lose these popped humanities. And how is this not a hit? This game just sucks, I hate it. As you have seen, sometimes the head can be hard to hit, but phasing through was terrible to see. With 3 more humanity used and some heads cut off, the Hydra goes down. With the Hydra defeated, I can upgrade my sword once again. Surely I won't forget to do that and head back up the Great Hollow. Am I really this stupid going back up without spending my souls? Yes. However, my stupidity is outweighed by my skill as I can get to the top without too much issue. Except this part with terrible collision. The next patch will fix it, right? Well, anyways, when I get to the bonfire, I sit down to finally upgrade my weapon. Or I use all my souls to level health. You know what? Close enough. A +4 for Quitout is overkill anyways. No wait, I did want a +4, so I pop a soul at the Blighttown bonfire to level it up to +4. Now I get to obliterate Quitout. In a fight, she easily goes down. I would never be defeated by Quitout. No, I did not almost just die to the lava after beating her. Oh look, I'm reading the Spell of Awakening first, isn't that neat? Usually you do the second one. Whoa, oh look, Quitout! I can enter the Covenant and deposit my 4 humanity so I won't lose it. Or only 3 because I want to reverse my hollowing for some reason. I can also upgrade my Estus Flask again with her before I go to kill her brother. Yep, this is a ceaseless fight. Sick. Even with the lava's hairline receding, I can't really continue forward because I don't have the Lord Vessel. I know, I was an 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽, but I did not pick it up because I would have to defeat ONS breaking the rules. Should probably go get that, but now I have to go the way the developers intended. Gross. Only one more 𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 and I don't think that one will be a problem. Yeah, pretty easy to get past the hollows. Oh, my head? Well, you see, I let one of the insect dudes grab me and infect me. Why did I do this? Once again, I don't know why. Anyways, gargoyles, look, here's the first one. Well, here was the first one. The second one won't be an issue. Undo the second bell, so that lovely giant can open the gate to Sin's Fortress. Definitely never been in there, but before I head in, I make sure to buy the repair box. The special takes a lot of durability off the weapon, better to be prepared. You never know what could happen in Sin's Fortress. I've heard a lot about this place. Oh wait, Havel. Almost forgot, this weapon is heavy and Havel's ring should help. While I'm here, might as well take care of the easier Hydra. This rewards me with only 1 dragon scale, but is also a step in unlocking the DLC. Now, for the next step of killing the Piss Golem. Oh yeah, they are resistant to magic and this weapon only does magic damage. Sure hope that never comes up again. Still, I can take her the golem during dusk and she has something I need. I summon Dust to access her shop to get some nice spells. The first is Repair, which is a useful spell allowing me to be more careless with my special attack. The other 2 are Hidden Body and Cast Light. With that all done, I can bone back to the Undead Parish ready to take on Sin's Fortress. Good thing I unlocked the shortcut cage earlier in the run to skip going through it again. Now I can easily make my way to Iron Golem, who I bet will be so hard. Close fight, almost had me there. So and Orlando? Oh my god, wait, we can see Gwendolyn! They were cooking with Gwendolyn. The Infinite Holly is very memorable. My favorite part about Gwendolyn is how they fight like I would. Being cheap. Teleporting away is funny until I'm fighting them having to run after them. From Software may not have known what they were doing, but having to chase after them to defeat them, they knew, and now Gwendolyn knows defeat. Quick fashion grab before another favorite, Crossbreed Priscilla! I was smart enough to grab the doll, so I just get dragged into the painting. The painted world is pretty easy to maneuver. Being such a vertical level, it's easy to drop down where you want to go. I can easily open a shortcut here that I won't need to use. Good thing I opened that shortcut. I was wanting to kill that undead dragon for some dragon scales, but it did not go smoothly. Second time around, I played it way safer and did not taunt it like an idiot. Now, I'm up 1 dragon scale with only 2 more to go. With that handled, I can head to the bone wheel, or never mind, I just do that. I am going to be honest, I forgot that it's technically exploiting the game, but we can pretend. Priscilla is not very resistant to magic, which is the only damage the sword does. That won't be an issue, unlike Priscilla. Starting the fight, I have Priscilla just pop up next to me. Swinging away, I have some issues because apparently she did not want to stagger for me. Instead, she is bleeding me. Sorry, wrong script. She is bleeding me. It is really starting to hurt, and I need to find a way to get her to be visible. I've thrown some running attacks, but she kills me. I don't know what happened. Moonlight Greatsword is a great sword. Should it not be staggering her? Well, because I am a massive nerd, I decided to boot up the debug version of this game to see. Priscilla has 60 poise, or as they call it, super armor, but the standard attack only does 52.5 poise damage. The running attack at least does a little bit more, but emphasize on a little bit because it does 56 poise damage. A jump attack should do more, but for some reason it only does 52.5 damage, so that just leaves the heavy special attack. The sword swing does not deal enough, only dealing 35 poise damage, but it also has a magic beam that comes out. That beam, which is separate from the swing, deals 52.5 poise damage. Combine those together, and if I point blank beam attack, it will one hit stagger her. Now, for my second time around, I do use the special attack, but not point blank. From far away, I managed to free aim the magic special, hitting Priscilla. Then, all it took was a running attack to stagger Priscilla, breaking her invisibility. Being able to see the boss makes life really easy as I shred Priscilla, even collecting her tail as a trophy. Taking the plunge back to 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 Ornstein and Smo. The 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 snipers are no issue as I parry the one blocking the way. I grab the interior bonfire, but before making my way to the boss, I went to grab Havel's armor for later. You know, since I'm already here, might as well get Anastasia's soul back because I need my Firelink Firekeeper. It is certainly one of the NPC gank fights of all time. Honestly, did not expect to kill him that quickly, but hey, it is ONS time. In true ONS fashion, I get a bad opening, but Smo just kinda backed off for a bit. I'll take it, giving me an easy first phase leading into Super Smo phase 2. Which, by the way, I have done Super Smo phase 2 1,000 times. I could do it in my sleep, so to no one's surprise, I defeat ONS first try. Oh, on the way to Guinevere, my head grew, just thought I would let you know. Also, here's a treat. I don't dispel the illusion of Guinevere, so this time you can ogle, you creeps. You disgust me, but hey, no regicide like I would normally do. So instead I will go and commit canicide. Before I can slay Sif, I have some errands to run. First is restoring Anastasia because I'm not a monster. I also go to put the undead dragon to rest in the Valley of the Drakes. This is done for the dragon scale they drop as those are still needed. Dragon scale weapons in DS1 are such a pain to reinforce. With that taken care of, I have 3 dragon scale with only 1 more left. To get that last one, I want to make my way to Snuggly the Crow. Dropping an egg vermifuge that I bought earlier to Snuggly, I will receive 1 dragon scale. That makes 4 dragon scale, which is enough to level up the Moonlight Greatsword to max. Is it overkill for Sif? Don't think about that. Also, don't think about when I got the crest of Artorias. We don't talk about that part. Sif's fight was really easy. For some reason, I did not even worry about healing and just defeated Sif first try without it. Can't tell you why, but now I have the Covenant of Artorias for the 4 Kings. But since I'm already in the Darkroot Garden, I might as well go take care of the Moonlight Butterfly. Not much to say about this fight, it might as well be a 2D section. Which would be really cool, like a Nier Automata perspective change. That would be sick, but instead we have whatever this is. Once the butterfly lands, it is an easy 1 cycle, taking another boss off my list. Also, those 2 bosses gave me enough souls to level up after popping a soul. These souls will be put into an extra attunement slot. I'll use that extra attunement slot to attune repair for obvious reasons before making my way to New Londo Runes. I did not have the Moonlight Greatsword last time I was here, so I need to get the key to the seal. First time around, I died to the ghost in the room with the ladder, and y'all shit on DS2's enemy placement. Speaking of 2, my second attempt, I defeated all the ghosts and made my way up. With the key, I unseal this forsaken place, but I don't go the normal way. Instead, I do the quick little hop down right to the fog gate. I don't expect to die to this boss because, well, I picked up Havel's armor, which I awkwardly equip at the bottom, but with the first king spawned in, I can see my damage. 376 damage is not bad at all, and the damage I do to the first king is not bad either. Paying attention to their HP and my stamina, I managed to deal 3,528 damage to the total health bar. Multiply that number by 3, I get 10,584 damage, which is more than enough for a 3 Kings fight. Yeah, the damage is not bad, and with Havel's armor removing any skill from this fight, I just wait for the next king. Wait, 4 Kings? I can still commit regicide? I'm so happy! Second king down. Now the 3rd and final king is defeated. For those keen eyed among you, you may have noticed I have not placed the Lord Vessel yet. That is because I wanted to use Koth to transport me to the Firelink altar to place it. Now, with this Minecraft beacon placed, I can go and take care of the rest of the 4 lords. First on my list is Nito because I assume they would be the hardest. I bet the skill check at Pinwheel is just a taste of that pain, but at least I can skip the catacombs by falling down. Bone wheels are definitely a scary thing, but I slip past making my way to the skill check. Solid start to this tricky fight as I take out 2 of their clones. Targeting the main Pinwheel, I have to dodge their deadly attack. Here you can see the fret of Pinwheel as I dodge my beam attacks. Luckily lock-on helps me here and Pinwheel is almost down. With a well-placed jump attack, Pinwheel is defeated. A hard-won fight, but the worst is yet to come. In the 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 I won't be able to effectively take care of the skeletons of a divine weapon. But yeah, really easy fight. Honestly a footnote. Even with my low HP, I kind of just gave up dodging their attacks really. It worked as they went down first try, so Sif should be harder with his magic resistance of 690. Back in 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 I'm sorry, Dark Moonitis. I'm sorry, forgive me. So, anyways, guess who has another flask upgrade? Yay! Honestly, I deserve this for killing the Nidus. Wait a minute, I did not need the 𝓜𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓸 bonfire. I have the Duke's Archives one that will just let me skip the Duke's Archives. The Crystal Caves is the Crystal Caves, so I do what everybody does and set up RTSR. A big damage boost will help offset that resistance, and it is safe. Best part is no clams because I already activated the fight, which also means I need to go and break the crystal. Shit. Round 2, with more curse resistance from this armor set, I break the crystal. Now it is time to do not pitiful damage at all? The Moonlight Greatsword only deals magic damage, so I guess RTSR is putting in work? Also the fact that attacking Sif's crotch deals an extra 60% damage. That number is not exact because I don't know the actual math they use, but from my testing it was around there. Now the biggest problem is just my stamina because this damage is a lot. It does not take too long before Sif goes down, leaving the Bed of Chaos. Wait, I almost forgot something in the Duke's Archives. There we go, I'll be needing this later. Yes, I will be doing the DLC. Just because I'm doing it won't stop my slander of it, of course. Now, I can make my way to the Bed of Chaos and the 2 other Lost Asylum bosses in the way. I also upgrade my flask to +4 with Quilouana. With my flask as upgraded as I'm willing it to be, I make my way to the Demon Fire Sage. Or, wait, I open the shortcut and kill the maggot? I don't know why I did this, but you're welcome, Slayer. Alright, Fire Sage time. The damage is not the worst, but for some reason, Fire Sage has a pretty good amount of HP. I try some special attacks which deal more damage, but I get too crazy with it and my weapon almost breaks. Even with the reduced damage, I still take care of this boss and I can go fight Demon Centipede now. I take the central platform, but the demon is being annoying. Fortunate for me, I can take their arm and their ring. I quickly equip it, and now this fight is extremely easy. Very cool you can do that. I hope we see more cool interactions like this in future From Software games. With that demon defeated, all I have left is the Bed of Chaos, but I'm not running past the dragon butts. Instead, I use the shortcut and make my way to the boss fight. Bed of Chaos is Bed of Chaos, so I run down the middle. Then I throw some Moonlight Greatsword magic bombs of a lineup to easily take care of it. Or never mind, I mess up the second throw and had to quit out to try again. This time, I land the magic bomb and roll forward, making my way to the feeble body of chaos. It is easily dispatched with a single chop. That was the last of the 4 Lord Souls, so I guess it's the DLC. No way I'm going to regret the DLC. I mean, the Greatsword has performed really well so far. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, 200 damage is very doable for this boss. Sanctuary Guardian does have a very low HP of 2560, which is less HP than Quilouana. To make up for that, From Software gave it an annoying strategy of flying all over the arena. I hate this boss because of that. I don't want to chase a boss unless it's Mikolash. After running around after the Guardian, I eventually take them down in only a couple of tries. Now I get to run through the next part of the DLC. There's not really anything here for me, but I can't main roll down the elevator skipping it. So this time I go the proper way, I guess, but hey, we get to see the cool Calamite introduction. That is kind of all there is that is cool about this area, but hey, in no time I'm at the Artorias arena. I make sure to send the shortcut elevator up because I expect to die. I kinda suck at this fight. No better way to prove that than when I get hit by the first attack. I managed to collect myself, though I see the damage we are working with. 169 damage a swing is not the best, but we can fix that. When I got hit down to RTSR range, I decided to equip it, and yeah, that damage boost is good. The 420 damage is certainly nice, but you've seen how bad I am playing. With my big knowledge of this fight, I heal up and unequip RTSR while Artorias does a little buff. Could I have kept on attacking and then staggered Artorias out of his buff up? Yeah, no, why did I not do that? Maybe I just did not know, and also my skill is nowhere to be found as I watch my life flash before my eyes. Oh wait, never mind, I get a rerun of my life flashing before my eyes immediately. At least now I can prepare for the fight, and I do that by setting up RTSR at the local flora. That RTSR damage is not bad. If I can no-hit this fight, then it'll be an easy win. To no one's surprise, I still have my skill issue moments, but I'm getting closer. So close that it hurts dying, but I won't give up. In my time attempting this fight, my skills drastically improved. I was beginning to understand this fight. Not too long after, I mercy kill Artorias and the fog gate leading to the city dissipates. Now I can go after the final 2 DLC bosses, but I have some tasks to do. First up, I go say hi to 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽. They promptly try to burn me alive. How thoughtful. I will remember that. After teleporting out of there, I arrive back at 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 ready to explore. Wait, oh no, I forgot Stray Demon. Okay, good. Stray Demon defeated and unforgotten, now I can go explore 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽. I make my way through the dilapidated city to a hidden treasure. Finally, I use the cast light spell that I got forever ago to reveal this hidden room. In the chest, I grab the silver pendant to help counter Manus' dark sorceries. We don't want to leave 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 out of this, so I travel further in to kill this mimic. In their stomach is the crest key to unlock the door leading to the giant Goth. They will help bring 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 out of the sky for me later. I'm still needing to grab the next bonfire, and that's not too hard as I run past the enemies to it. The 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 bonfire is right by Manus, so I might as well go attempt him. Before even doing that, I make sure to kindle the bonfire a couple times to have 15 Estus going into the fight. And that 15 Estus might not be enough with this damage. 140 is really not good on a boss like Manus with its HP of 6,665. Speaking of HP, my vitality is only 23, which probably is not the best for this boss. I noticed this when Manus did the grab combo that nearly one-shotted me. Now, what is my first thought after that happens? Maybe go farm and get more HP to make the fight more manageable. No, I go for a round 2. To skip ahead, I whimpered out and decided not to kill Manus or 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽. I went right to Gwen and beat the game, but that does not sit right with me. So I made a new character to try again because I did not have the save anymore. I made sure all the levels were the same as when I was at Manus, so I'm still at 23 vitality. However, this time something in my brain clicks and I go to farm some souls in a painted world. I spent an hour just farming the Demon Phalanx copy for souls. My goal was to get my vitality to level 40 to help with the fights to come. With the last little bit collected, I rested the bonfire to level up and oh no. Yeah, the video corrupted and stopped recording because OBS crashed. You know, it is not that bad because I quit right after that and did not lose a video of me beating Manus on only 3 attempts. Well, yeah, that is what happened actually. I was very proud of myself for doing that and was destroyed learning that it was not recorded. The time in which I learned the Manus fight and played correctly was insane, but that is lost now. So, once again, I made a new character just so I can go beat Manus and have it recorded. If I beat it in 3 attempts, I can surely do that again. My first couple of tries, I was getting Manus down pretty low, but something was off. As time went on, I kept getting worse and worse. I think what happened was I was very upset after losing that recording. Because of that, I went into this fight with my focus not fully on it, but that won't stop me. After an hour of trying to beat Manus, I finally did it, finishing Manus in style with a Moonlight Beam. Now, on to 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 who I have not shown yet, but 𝓬𝓸𝓸𝓸𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓰𝓱𝓽 will be easier. The dragon has already been shot down, but there's a stop I want to make. Needed to get some better armor for when I show up to stomp Gwen. With my cool armor, I go to take on Calamite. The damage on them is not bad. Dealing 200 is good considering what I went through before. Calamite offers a lot of chances to punish their attacks, giving me massive DPS against them. My first attempt may not have went the best, but after Manus, I've gotten better at the game. On my second attempt, the fight was clicking. Calamite's attacks were very readable, allowing me to punish everything. Very few mistakes were made, and when I made them, I recovered. I was destroying my previous attempt to the point where I defeated Calamite on only my second attempt. This win was needed after losing my 3-attempt Manus fight. With Calamite down, I can take on the last boss, which I bet will be so hard. Never mind, it is Gwen, just parry. The damage is good once again, I mean 1k damage. I was getting way too used to seeing almost 1/10 of that. Easily Gwen goes down and the run is over. All bosses have been defeated with a true Moonlight Greatsword. This is my first real challenge run I've done. I wanted it to have my flair, so what better than to get the Moonlight Greatsword without killing? This run was not fun at times because of that, I can't lie. I've said it before, but I will say it again, I will never do Iron Golem skip again. This time, that better stay true. Even though I might not have had fun in this run, it did bring me a new appreciation for challenge runs. In fact, I've done another run that is way worse where I was dealing 50 damage to Manus. Looking back at this one, it is so much easier in comparison. I'm glad I went back to defeat Calamite and Manus, giving me a new understanding of their fights. Calamite has definitely been raised in my rankings, not because I beat it in 2 tries, but because it is an amazing fight. Calamite has a high damage output, but if you play your cards right, so do you. Amazing fight, unlike Manus. Manus with his dumb combo attack that is just BS. How are you supposed to avoid that? I mean, I have before by running away. It just does not feel very balanced or consistent. Manus will always be slandered by me. Looking past that terrible fight, I am now interested in challenge runs. Can't wait to see what other painful experiences I put myself in. Thank you to my members who support me at any tier, and as always, thank you for wasting your time with me.